Hello, Aries. How are you? Today's April 24th. Aries season is over. Sad. I don't know about you guys, but Wednesday, everyone I know had like a major technological breakdown at massive scale. Like the technology was just not collaborating. And I think it's a mix of Pluto stationing and Mercury moving into conjunction with Uranus, and then Mars was at the anaretic degree in Gemini. So if your life kind of blew up technologically on Wednesday the 21st, you were not alone. Now Mars is currently in Cancer, and we have a full moon on Monday. I'm going to be honest, I do not like the energy for this week at all. And I'll talk a little bit about the full moon in Scorpio in a second. And as I was coming to do this reading, I was looking, talking, sort of channeling the energy of the full moon. I just got hit with a huge wave of sort of like exhaustion. And then I got freezing cold. I had to go get a sweater. And then a whole bunch of other things happened where it's like I was getting ready and I wanted to use one deck, but there's something wrong with that deck and I've been meaning to buy a new one, blah, blah, blah. So all of this kind of frustration and quick shifting energies and feeling potentially like pulled under, overwhelmed is all kind of what's coming up for the week. Now, the Sabian symbol, hold on, let me just call it up here so I don't say it wrong. The Sabian symbol for the moon is actually really, really nice. It's the silvery moon shining across a beautiful gem of a lake. And when I read this, it reminded me of an evening that I had spent in the Midlands in Iceland with my daughter. We were out hunting for the Northern Lights. And, it's kind of like one of those idyllic settings. And it's amazing. And you have this beautiful full moon glistening on the lake, reflecting, illuminating the entire sky. And at the same time, you feel overwhelmed. You feel tiny, right? Because the universe is so much vaster than you. And yet at the same time connected. Overpowered and overwhelmed by emotion. And yet almost uplifted by the ecstasy of a sort of a perfect moment like this. Or you could be somebody who hates being stuck out in the woods in the middle of the night staring at a moon, and that could be a frightening moment for you. So there's kind of an energy of this potentially overwhelming emotional experience that, depending on your conditioning, your experience, etc., will determine how you live this energy. Now, what I do, so some of the keywords that I wrote is that, it could be majestic, beautiful, romantic, frightening. You could suddenly have a depth of emotions that you've never felt before, which scares you in positive and in negative, because there's a lot of sort of unpleasant fixed stars involved in this. So you may find yourself seething with a rage that you didn't know was possible and scares you. So other things that I said here is, so majestic, beautiful, romantic, frightening. Things depend on your point of view and your experience. Feeling sucked into something, right? Like, as I said, when I was coming to do the energy read, it was like all of a sudden all the life in me had just been taken out of it, like the idea of doing it. And I was actually going to put it off, but I have a pretty busy weekend, so I said, let me just go ahead and do it now. And that idea of, you know what, I'm just going to do it, is also an energy that I feel like it overrides this week, because the moon is opposite, this full moon in Scorpio, which is high drama emotions, is opposite Uranus in Taurus. Now, I have moon opposite Uranus in my natal. I can tell you it's not fun. It means that you feel like this, and then all of a sudden you just flip and you don't even know it's coming. The people around you don't know it's coming. You can change your mind on a dime, but when you change your mind, it's like it's not a temporary decision. It's literally like, you know what, I don't ever want to see you again. And you literally don't ever want to see that person again. So I feel like there may be some situations, because the energy here, let's take a look at the transits. We have Mercury conjunct Uranus today, so that could be surprising news. Venus squaring Saturn, issues over money, issues over not getting the love or the pleasure that you feel like you want. Mercury squaring Saturn, that's also an argument. Mercury conjunct Venus, so that's nice actually. Then full moon in Scorpio. Tuesday Pluto goes retrograde, and then on Friday the Sun conjuncts Uranus and Mercury sextiles Neptune, which can be like kind of a fog in communication. So it's possible that in trying to pursue something that you want, or trying to do something that you're like, okay, I'm just going to do it, the conditions happen that you suddenly find yourself sort of boxed in by your own choices, by your own actions, by things that you've been meaning to take care of for a very long time and have not. Where all of a sudden you're like, all right, fine, I'll just do it. So I have, like I said, I wanted to use a deck of cards that I love, but I always kept this Dutch version, which makes it very hard to use in readings like this. And I've had it for 4 years. People have offered me new ones. They've come back into print, so I have no excuses, but I still never did it. And then this morning I was like, you know what? I am sick of not having these cards when I want them. And so after literally probably 5 years of saying, oh, I should get these, I should get these, I should get these, I just did it. So that's that full moon opposite Uranus energy, where some sort of situation comes to a head and you're like, you know what? I'm just going to do this. Can be cut the cord, can be changing situation, can be buying something. You know, there's some sort of situation in your life, can be small or very big, where things will come to sort of a head, especially with Pluto going retrograde. And you'll just make a decision like on the dime, like, all right, enough. This has to change right now. So with that said, let me get started with the reading. Can I get the overall energy for Aries, week of April 24th, 2021? Overall energy for Aries, week of April 24th, 2021. Okay, recovery, getting the key, right? Unlocking something. Being able to change, to walk through the door. So, and there's also, I always consider this guy to be sort of a Uranian figure. So like I said, there may be some sort of situation, some information that blows you in, that's like, gives you the key to be able to unlock the door, to make the change that you need to change, to help you make the change that you need to be able to move forward into another energy. Now let's get the challenge energy here. Okay. Can I have the challenge energy for Aries, week of April 24th? Okay. So this is what I was saying, postponement, right? This is the Four of Swords. Not taking care, not doing the thing that you know is going to make you happy, of delaying, of waiting. Now, this may be a challenge in that what happens is that you've been in a state of waiting, and now finally you get the thing that sort of like unlocks that shift from gray to color, or that despite having, like, knowing exactly what it is that you need to put in that door to open it, to get to where you want to go to, you still haven't been making, that step. Let's see here. Can I get the lesson energy for Aries, week of April 24th? Okay. Gaia, Earth connection. Now, Gaia is Uranus's wife, remember? So this says, be mindful of the planet, come back to Earth, stay grounded. This is, as I said, this is a week with a lot of energy. There is a lot of water also, especially since our Mars is in Cancer. And so we can feel emotionally overwhelmed. The more we are grounded, and it's funny because I pulled out my selenite, which I haven't been using a lot, but I felt like a need to ground down, to have something to channel that energy into. So as all this stuff is happening, right, and all these emotions are coming in, and perhaps this information, or feeling bad about whatever this situation is, try and ground into the energy as much as possible. Stay in your rational mind, because there is a lot going on between the Mars and Cancer for us, which is already going to make us a little bit moody and inconsistent. The Scorpio moon is very, very intense. Plus, Pluto going retrograde makes us feel powerless and out of control. And obvi, that's not a state that we love. So, can I get beginning and ending energy for Aries, please? Okay. So what do we have here? Oh, a lot, actually. So we have the Fates and the Yin cards. This is that female energy. Fates is things not working out the way, in reverse, things not working out the way we like. And then over here we have, interesting, because like either way you flip these, it's kind of the same thing. We have chaos and conflict and fork in the road. So like I said, I feel like there's going to be some sort of situation that causes us to make a choice. And it may come from this sort of something not necessarily working out the way we hope to, pulling us into that very feminine energy, even potentially too much. And then chaos and conflict coming in to force us to finally make a decision, to pick which way we want to go. Now, at the bottom of the deck, quite interesting, is the moon. So, we have a 2, a 4, a 6, and an 8 here. So also kind of echoing the need to stay balanced and stay even. 3 cards, please, for Aries week of May 24th. No, April 24th. Sorry, my calendar says May there. 3 cards for week of April 24th. Too many. Okay, Ace of Swords, so that's that information coming in. Getting clarity on the situation, at least. Also changing your mind, new way of thinking. 2 more cards, please. Okay, fine. They all wanted to come out. We'll take them all, even though that's a lot. 6 of Swords, 5 of Cups. What'd I tell you? I told you I didn't like this energy. All right, so Ace of Swords, information that comes in that, that helps us move forward. And then this is the Scorpio card. So, maybe having spent too much time looking at the past, we have 2 cards, multiple cards that speak of stagnancy. This 4 of Swords here, this 2 of Swords, this 5 of Cups is being stuck in a very unpleasant, indecisive energy, where ultimately at the end of the day, the other thing that keeps coming up here, sorry, I can't even hold all these cards, is like a feeling sorry for ourselves, right? And that is very Cancer and very Scorpio. So we must be very be very conscious that this energy is temporary, and don't indulge it any more than it needs to, because it can sort of suck you under. Like I said, when I started to get close to the reading, it was like all of a sudden all of the life had been drained out of me. And these both talk about moving through different doors of perception, right? So my advice is, like, I kind of feel like this isn't one of those inspirational readings where it's like, hey, go get your dreams. This is a warning that the energy this week is crap, and not let it carry you away with the tide. There will likely be some situation that comes up that is not necessarily unwanted, but something's going to push you to the brink, like to the emotional brink of being like, all right, fine, I got to move. It's time I got to make that decision. And not, information coming in. These are both talking about information coming in that highlight this situation here that's been keeping us stuck, been keeping us stagnant, and then finally deciding to use this information to, like, look, horses, but both of these over here had horses. So technically that's what the reading looks like, is that all the horses, everybody moving in the same direction, coming as a result of the chaos and conflict that will likely come through this full moon here. So let me get some last words of advice. So try and stay as grounded as possible. Don't get sucked into the watery energy this week. There's going to be quite a bit of it. There may be something that doesn't turn out the way that you hoped, or you thought, it was seemed like kind of like a destined thing, but it actually ended up not working out the way you wanted to. And that will come in with whatever this information is. Let me get this here. But it's going to push you to finally make a choice or make a decision that you've been meaning to make for a long time. Now, again, it could be something as insignificant as me saying, like, all right, fine, fuck it, I'll just buy the cards. I've been putting it off for long enough. It could be something more significant in your life. Either way, what it is, ultimately it's a good thing, because it's the thing that unlocks the difference between the gray, the black and white, and the color. But it's something that we have been withholding from ourselves. It's like I haven't been able to use those cards for 3 years, because even though I love them and they're like the best cards ever, because I wouldn't just take the 5 minutes to buy the new ones, or I was always finding excuses. So wherever you've been finding excuses for not giving yourself something that you want, I feel like the universe is going to come in this week and make that so emotionally uncomfortable that you'll be like, all right, fine, I'll do it. Can I get... Okay, way too many. Sorry. Can I get words of advice for Aries? Okie doke. Interesting. So remember what I said, this isn't like sometimes the universe like really inspirational. The card that we got this week is Read the Energy, which is like read the room, people. Let me read this for you. I've actually never gotten this card, which is interesting. So 34. We bring you the blessing of reading the energy. We affirm that you have the ability to read energy accurately, and we encourage you to apply your gifts. So if, like me, you have to go to a meeting or something and you feel yourself suddenly like being very drained, that's a sign, or that's a message. So pay attention to your energy field this week. You don't have to be in control of the inflow of divine information. When a message or insight comes to you, naturally, this is best. Simply being open and receptive as you intend to read the energy of the person, place, or situation at hand is enough. Whether you have been reading energetically for years or just beginning your journey in interpreting energetic information, we are here to assist you in becoming confident and trusting in your perceptive abilities. So yeah, it's going to be, especially with the Mars in Cancer, that will help us. This is a week where you're definitely going to want to pay attention to your energetic signals, the things you feel here. Knowing especially with that moon op Uranus, knowing when it's time to do something. However, please, again, stay as grounded as possible, because with the moon in Scorpio op Uranus, we can be very high drama, and our perception of the situation can be extraordinarily skewed. So the more we are concrete and tapped into the earth energy, connect through crystals, or keep, like, if you have a black stone that you like, keep in your pocket in order to ground you. Or, oh yeah, here it is. You can use any black stone to sort of channel in not only psychic protection, but also just very grounding energy, which will help with all the water that's going to be coming in. Anyway, hope this was helpful, and wish you as happy a week as possible. And just remember, like everything, this too shall pass. See you next week. Take care.